So that shiny new game just came out, The Awakener, Forgotten Oath, and you want to know if it's worth your time, right? Well, let's take a look at the game for some first impressions. At the beginning of the game, you get a little backstory. Demons have been coming into the world since the rift was opened. The new gods of the world gave specific people a share of divine powers. Those people are Awakeners. You play as an Awakener. Right when I loaded in, I kept noticing some weird blurriness all over the place, especially further out. I don't know if that's depth of field or what, but the settings didn't have that option. Anyways, I dealt with that, and the first combat is with a skeleton, mostly training really. At first, there's 2 different ground skills and 2 different air skills, as well as a normal attack. You can also dodge and block. If you have a perfect block, you'll be able to follow that up with a stronger attack as well. The combat in the next part was against 3 skeletons, and the combat animations and effects look really cool. However, I'm quickly noticing that the enemies are kind of lame. They walk towards you pretty slowly, and they don't have any sense of intelligence. It's all just very easy. The last 2 attacks you can do is the relic skill and the awakening skill. Those are pretty cool attacks. Also, most of your attacks, including these 2, can be changed to something else. After you leave through the purple portal, you're put into an area that you could call the main base or hub. You'll be coming back here. There's 2 or 3 characters around here that you can talk to and change into so that your class changes also, but I didn't have enough soul echoes to unlock them. That is the currency with the green icon. Also, while talking to the people around here, I found there was no voice acting. There's only text on the bottom of the screen. When it comes to lore or story, it's pretty non-existent. I mean, sure, there's some information you can get from people, but there's basically none. This area with the statues is where you can change your awaken skill. That was the earthquake skill that I used before. Second, you can unlock talents with void crystals, the purple currency, but I had no crystals. These are permanent stat boosts, like increased damage to all enemies by 5%, or increase max health by 10, for example. Third, you can change your skills, the ground skills and air skills. I left those alone and didn't change any of that. There's a few other things of interest in this area, but I'll be skipping those. When you go back through the purple portal, it dropped me into an area with enemies. After you defeat all of the enemies, there will be another portal at the end that will open for you. I got some coins and fighting will. Then I had a battle upgrade. When you get battle upgrades, you can pick one of 3 options that will increase your attacks. Once your fighting wheel fills up, you can choose another battle skill to use. Then I was able to choose an artifact and then a path. You can choose one of 3 paths and each have different rewards and difficulty. These paths are the next level or next room. Picking one will drop you into battle with enemies and then rinse and repeat everything that I've just said pretty much. Kill the enemies in the room, use the portal to exit, keep doing these upgrades I just mentioned, and go further and further up the levels until you either defeat them all or die. Also, the battle upgrades and artifact upgrades are not permanent. If you die, they're gone. Those only last for your current run. If you don't know how far you are, then when you choose the next room, you can see your level on the bottom left during the loading screen. After I defeated the next room, I was given the option of selecting relics. You can choose one of 3 cards, and all 3 give various attack upgrades. You'll be choosing these cards pretty often. When you select a boss fight, it's just one big enemy with a lot more health and better attacks. Though still, these rooms are all pretty easy. I was flying through these levels until I got stuck on level 16. I was fully surrounded by enemies and was literally stuck between them. No amount of blocking or dodging or attacking would free me, so I was basically killed by suffocation. I was pretty frustrated because these enemies are pretty easy to kill. They just have a bit of health that you need to get through. If I didn't get stuck between these enemies, I'm fully confident I would have went all the way to the end. The graphics are okay. The enemies for sure feel a little lackluster though. The best part is the different attacks that you can do and the effects of those attacks themselves. That's all pretty cool. I'm going to have to say that overall the game is alright, but I was getting a little bit bored from the sameness of the enemies and how they aren't really that good. Maybe future updates will make the enemies better, or maybe not. The best enemies are the boss fights, but even those are a bit lacking. That's my personal opinion though. Whether or not this is your type of game, I'll see you on the next one.